So of course you've chosen a property package, so it's our role to help you to understand what actually makes a property investment profitable. However, we thought we'd break down some of the things that we actually look at here and that you can look at yourself when you go and do this yourself next time. You have all the education at your disposal. What actually makes a good investment property? Again, I think it's really important at this stage to say that whenever we're investing into property, we shouldn't treat it any differently to how we might think about investing into other asset classes, like stocks and shares, or perhaps private companies. And what I mean by that is we should take sentiment out of the equation. For example, a property comes up down the street from you. Of course, your first thought is that property is undervalued. I'm close to it, therefore it would be easy to manage. Those two trains of thought, whilst not unimportant, are actually not what makes a good investment property. What we really should be looking at is the data. So, it's very, very important to pick the right property based upon your investment goals. First of all, we need to balance your strategy, or maybe even just the amount of profit that we make, with the level of effort that's required to actually operate that investment property. What are some of the things that we need to be thinking about here? Well, market data, essentially. Have we had a look at historic capital gain for that area? That could be a postal code, or maybe even just an area that we draw on tools like Rightmove. Have we had a look at historic rental yields? Are they going up? Are they coming down? What about changes in demand for that area? Are people moving to that area? Are people moving away from that area? What types of people are living there? How much money do they earn? Is this property desirable to a young professional or maybe a family? These are some really important things to look at. Again, a lot of the time it's helpful if we break this data down to geographic postal codes. So here in the United Kingdom, we have postal codes which give you a very good indication of what is happening or what kind of data we can expect from a specific area. Things like changes in price per square foot, which is the amount that is charged in pound terms for every square foot within that property or that postal code, can be really helpful. Average property yields for that area, which we discussed earlier, but also things like crime data. What crimes are committed in that local area? Is it safe? Is it suitable for families, for example? Population density, how many people are there for a given square mile? But also things like walk scores. How close is the property to transport links, infrastructure, maybe where people work? What micro investment is happening in that area? What businesses operate there? What macro investment is happening? Is there infrastructure projects like trains, airports, changes to road infrastructure? I know in Manchester at the moment there's massive improvements to the tram as well as the airport. These things are great because of course they give you an idea as to what type of people are currently living in that area, what you can charge those people in rent, their ability to keep up with those rental payments, and what the future propensity for those tenants are from a growth perspective as well. I think moving forward, thinking about actually the process of acquiring an investment property, we've got to remember that it is both capital appreciation and rental income here that make a winner. When we focus sometimes almost exclusively on one of those two things, for example, rental yield over capital gain, it may well be that those properties historically and into the future don't rise in value. Of course, that's not really an ideal situation, unless that is something that you specifically want. I think we would say spend time doing your research. Please do speak to your property consultant, analyze the data, and remove sentiment from the equation.